seventh graders, it's your lucky day because you get Mrs. Talati
and Mrs. Cervantes.
And together we are
Mrs. Servati.
So you actually felt really lucky when you get the two of us together because maybe towards the end of the year it doesn't happen.
We're cool cats.
All right, so today's super easy. Basically, we're rolling with the same rules from 2.1, which was multiplying integers into dividing integers. So your rules are the same. So same signs. The quotient of two integers with the same signs is positive. So I'll give you an example. Let's go with, make sure we're on the pen. 20 divided by 5 is a positive 4. So a positive divided by a positive is a positive. Let's also show this as a ratio. Because remember, fractions mean division. You guys are going to start to see a lot of these division problems written as ratios and or fractions. So a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Okay? So again, same sign, answer is positive. Different signs, I'm going to use the same two integers. So let's write this one. We're going to go a negative 20 divided by a positive 5 is a negative 4. And then we'll write the 20 divided by, because again, you're going to see them written both ways, is a negative 4. So again, we can use our triangle that I introduced you to yesterday in the sense that we have a positive and negative negative. And so just to review real quick, if we have a positive divided by a negative, then your answer is a negative. Okay, so again, it still works for division of fractions.
Okay, let's look at your word problem. Go to your guided practice. It says a diver needs to descend to a depth of 100 feet. She wants to do it in 5 equal descents. How far should she travel in each descent? Okay, so we're talking about she wants to do it in equal descents. What does descent mean again? You need to look and pull apart the vocabulary again. So descent means what? Going down. And if the diver wants to go to a depth of 100 feet, we're going to assume they're starting at 0. And they want to go down to negative 100. So down 100 feet. So normally, Ms. Talati and I were talking about this, we would use the number line to figure out the equal descents. But when you're doing it this way, you would have to do trial and error to figure it out on the number line. So it might be easier to use what you know from your fact families when you were doing in elementary school. And it might be easier to think to yourself, 5 groups of what equal negative 100, okay? And then you've got to just think about what your rules were for integers, for multiplying integers. So same signs give you positive answer, different signs give you a negative answer. And so then we're going backwards with it, and we're looking to see 5 times what number gives me 100. Well, you guys know that 5 times 20 gives you 100, but you need negative 100, so that's got to be a negative 20. So 5 times negative 20. So fill that in. I know we typically don't use the x, but I just wanted you guys to see that it was times some number to figure that out. So that means I'm going to do 5 groups, or 5, I'm going to say groups, or descents, if I'm going to use the words from the problem, of, right, of 20, because the descents gives you the negative, okay? So if I start at 0 and I go down 20, there's my first group. So that's what? Let's do negative 20. I'll do it the way Mrs. Talati did it. So then you're here, you go down 20 more, you're at negative 40, right? So that's obvious when you're looking at your numbers. So if you go down 5 groups, you would end up, you could also do here, maybe it's better to do because you have your 20 on the other side. Maybe it's better to do, I can't see because of my own shadow on this board. Isn't that weird? Because of my left hand.
Oh yeah,
I haven't done that happen before. Okay, so you can think of this as 1 descent, 2 descents, 3 descents, 4 descents, 5 descents of negative 20 gets you to what? Negative 100, okay? So it's not very often you're going to use the number line to do that, but that's what they're showing you with the equal descents. You're breaking it up equally. What you're really doing is, in that problem, we're doing negative 100 divided by 5. So 5 equal descents. And so when you're doing the division, a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and that's the way you can think of it, okay?
Now what we're not going to do is show you division with chips, right? Because it gets real difficult, especially when you're trying to divide the opposite of a chip. So what we're really going to focus on here is that you guys understand that division can be written as a ratio. And so instead of 24 divided by negative 3 with the division sign, I'm just going to rewrite it as 24 divided by negative 3. And again, a positive divided by a negative is a negative answer. Go down to negative 6 divided by a negative 2. Negative divided by a negative is a positive answer. And then 0 divided by a negative 9. So this is one that trips you guys up a lot. So remember, I don't know how we want to write this, that when you have 0 as a numerator, your answer is 0. When your 0, let's just write it the same, is your denominator, we want to write it as undefined.
Yeah, it's not possible. You can't divide by nothing.
Okay, and so that's going to be something that you guys see not only in obviously multiplication and division, but it's really big when we get into graphing lines and slope of a line and some of those pre-algebra and algebra concepts. Okay?
Yeah, remember that shirt someone bought me one year? Do you remember that in algebra? So some of my algebra kids kept trying to divide by 0, and one of the girls brought in a shirt that says it's all fun and games until someone tries to divide by 0. Yes.
That's cute.
Dividing by 0 doesn't work.
Okay, so then looking at a word problem, this one says Jake answers questions in 2 different online Olympic trivia games. In each quiz, he loses points when he gives an incorrect answer. The table shows the points lost for each wrong answer in each quiz, and Jake's total points lost in each quiz. So if you guys notice here, we have the winter quiz. So all we're doing now is pulling numbers from the table. So you can see that his total points lost, I get it over here, is the negative 33. And we're trying to find out, based on the total points lost and the points per question, how many questions he answered incorrectly, right? So this one's going to be a negative 33 divided by that negative 3 right there. Again, I'm just going to get you guys in the routine of seeing these written as ratios as well. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. In this question, we're going to say in the winter quiz, let's call this the winter quiz. And this is Jake. Jake answered, sorry, I spelled that wrong, 11 questions incorrectly. Okay, again, it's a positive because questions are something tangible, if you will. And then take a look at the summer quiz. You guys, when I do videos, and I don't talk about this as much as I did last year, I really enjoy Cervantes' handwriting, and I try to have nice handwriting like her when I do this, but it just never pans out that way.
They kind of look
I
the
see you
same.
say, you know I say this every time. All right, so in the summer quiz, it was a total of 56 points lost, and this one was 7 points per question. Again, I'm going to write this as a ratio, so we get a 56 divided by 7 is 8. So then in this quiz, Jake answered 8 questions. See how you can barely, like, and it gets worse and worse. Okay, and so then in which quiz did he have more wrong answers? It's going to be the winter. Because he got 11 wrong versus the 8. All
Okay,
right.
wait, fix. Jake answered 8 questions incorrectly on the right.
I did. Oh, thank you. In. See, that's why there's 2 of us.
Yes.
Because then I would have given you wrong information and then no, well, you guys would have caught it. You can see the additional practice, super easy, not a whole lot of work. Maybe just on these here. Let's see who's watching the video. Monster Boxes. This is
We
a
will.
reflection. Let's have you write those ones as ratios. And you can just write them on the ratios. What is that? Is that even a word?
Rations.
Oh, that is, huh?
Yeah.
I'll rewrite it the right way, Kalani. So for example, on this one, maybe just rewrite it on the line. Because again, as you guys get into equations, in later modules, you're going to start seeing almost every fraction problem written, every division problem written as a fraction. All right, have a good day.
Okay, bye. And don't
Bye.
forget, I think there's word problems after that. There's another page of word problems. Theirs is on 1 page. Ours is on 2.
Got it.
So you also have 4 word problems on the end. Okay, you guys, have a good day. Bye.